Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Ruff Talk VR. You're joined again with your host, D. Scruffles.
Along with Stratus 2K1. Hey, what's going on with that country music you got playing there in the background?
So each week we're going to be playing a different intro music that kind of goes along with the theme of the game we're talking about.
All right, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah, it's a different concept instead of just a default...
Constantly the same one. All right,
yeah,
that's fair.
We'll see how it goes. You know, I just want to start off and thank everyone who listened to the first episode. Blew my expectations out of the water.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We received
100%.
Received a lot of good feedback. I don't know. I'm happy with it. I'm glad it's up, and we're on to episode 2.
Yeah, many more to be coming. So they keep pumping out the games. Each game to me is a different episode.
So before we get started, I just wanted to say be sure to subscribe to the podcast if you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify or your other favorite platform, as well as be sure to check out our subreddit at www.reddit.com/r/RuffTalkVR. That's kind of right now our online community. It's kind of growing. We got a couple fans, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, wish to thank them for taking the time to listen, and some of them commented, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was expecting maybe 2 people to listen. 1, probably my friends. That's about it. So I'm happy.
It's all right. So, what do we got going on this week, my friend?
So the episode on this episode today, the game we're talking about is Population 1. It's
this is a good one.
Yeah, it's a VR battle royale. Right now, I believe it's the only battle royale on the Oculus store. It's probably one of the most polished games on there right now. They've just had a massive update. We're into Season 2. Season 1 was pretty fun, and to be honest with you, even the preseason was great. We picked up this game probably like 2 weeks after it came out, and it was our number 1 game. You know?
Addicted from day one.
I think maybe for 2 months we probably didn't play any other game right after it came out, and it was only Population 1. So the way Population 1 works is it puts you into squads of 3 players. You can join a team beforehand of up to the 3. So usually it's just me and Travis over here, and we're partnered up with a 3rd random player. But you can go by yourself and get partnered up with 2 other random people, or you can pre-squad up with 2 people and have your team fully go in. It used to be the game would load up with 15 other players, but as of Season 2, I believe it goes up to 23 enemies.
Yeah, it's a ton.
So the game starts you off on a platform that you get the option to either jump right off or go into a pod. Kind of slang for that is commonly pod or hot drop, you know? Hot dropping's a little bit dangerous. A lot of people like to do it. Usually when you hot drop, expect a fight.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind too, and the beauty of the game, people are probably thinking, well, if you jump off a tall edge of something, aren't you going to die? It's like, yeah, you would sustain damage normally, but one of the beauties of Population 1 is it's climbable. So any obstacle you see, any building, any structure is 100% climbable, and if you hold your arms out, you can actually fly. So you can kind of glide down to various areas safely.
Yep, you slowly lose distance lose height as you glide, but you can sustain for quite a while. You can go probably like halfway across the map.
Yeah, you get a gun in your hand, it can be a game changer.
So from there, the zone constantly shrinks. It starts like, I think 30 seconds or a minute, and then 2 minutes from there, and it keeps shrinking smaller and smaller. If you go into the zone as it's shrinking, or even while it's just stationary, you get damaged. The longer the game goes on, the more the damage from the zone is. So early on into it, you can kind of, drink some health items, which are a big part of staying alive is the various health items in the game. And you can kind of maintain in there, but as the game gets to the later stage, you really got to avoid that zone.
Yeah, it's pretty typical of what the battle royals seem to do.
Yeah,
with closing the zone on you. So it's like, even if
you can't camp the whole time,
no,
basically, you know.
You could camp depending on where you are, you might be able to camp the whole map.
Yeah,
that's just the luck of the draw.
Sometimes we get lucky,
it's pretty typical with the zone closings.
We'll find a spot and we'll be like, oh my god, is it ending here? You know. So sometimes you get lucky, but for the most part, you're kind of running from that zone. From there, you loot up. You have 100 health, as well as you can get up to 100 shield. They have different shield items at this point. It used to be there was just like shield like orbs that you would pick up. Now there's shield sodas, and there's even a shield shaker. So what's cool about this game is like for the health items, there's also a banana and then a health soda. In order to use these health items, it's not like you just use it. You have to actually, for the soda, pop the can tap and then hold it to your face. For the shaker, you have to shake it. There's a banana that heals a lot of health. You have to peel all sides of the banana.
Yeah, everything from the health items to the weapons you can pick up are all interactive.
Oh yeah,
There's no gimmies with the you're going to grab something and you're good to go. If you run out of bullets, you have to put a new clip in and
reload it. Actually, you have to grab the part where you cock it and boom, cock it back. The sodas heal a slow amount of health over time, and the bananas and the shaker kind of like heal a bulk at once.
Yeah, the shaker upgrade they did for season 2 I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I feel like I'm using a shake weight as I'm getting the shake soda ready.
Cool shake sound when you shake it.
Yeah, there's a versatile amount of guns too. There's pistols, SMGs, assault rifles, shotguns, snipers. Inside that category, each of those categories, there's a couple different guns. Like SMGs have P90s, UMP. Assault rifles have the C4, the CX. I won't go out and list all the different guns because, oh my goodness, is there a bunch of them?
Yeah, they give you a really good, and it's randomized, so...
Yeah, the loot's not in the same spot every game.
But, if you loot well, you can find really good weapons.
Yeah, and
They use a star rating with them, too, so, you can easily grab 1-star weapons, but then they go up to the gold
4
standard. If you can find a gold weapon, no matter what it is, it's obviously going to be a lot better than the 3s or 2s or 1-star weapons.
Yeah, and everybody has a preference with guns. Like, example, my favorite, the CX. I see like a 3-star CX, even a 2-star CX. That can win me a game. But I get killed by people with every different type of gun.
I keep going back and forth. Sometimes it's that gun, and then other times it's the MP5. It's like I can't hit anything else unless I'm using that gun.
Yeah, I'm an assault rifle guy. I go back between the CX and the MK. The CX is kind of a really accurate, continuous, like rapid fire, and the MK is just a 3-shot burst.
3-shot burst,
but it's accurate and it's
God
deadly from a distance.
Caught in close combat because you can't rapid fire with it.
Yeah, I think
it's 3 shots and then it kind of waits a second, maybe even longer. But when somebody's blasting you in the face with a shotty, you're out. That's it.
Yeah, I really wish I was better with the shotguns because, man, I've gotten destroyed with shotguns on several occasions.
Some amazing players.
Insane. Which is actually a great thing about the game. The community in the game is one of the better communities I've seen. Before the game loads up, while it's kind of waiting for enough players to join to start the game, you're all kind of put in a collective lobby together, which is a way I like to describe it is the perfect amount of toxic.
Yeah,
there's
I agree with that.
There's some kids, which is the squeakers. The amount of kids is sometimes, depending on the lobby, a little annoying. But for the most part, it's a overall mature crowd. There's some goofing around. You meet a lot of people. It's one of those games you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have any other real life friends who own an Oculus. I'm probably not going to have fun playing a game that puts you in three people. You're going to make friends in that game. The lobby's a really good place. It's overall a very helpful community. Usually if you're, like when we were new to the game, people were helping us all the time. We got placed with some good players and, they gave us a lot of tips. For the most part, it's not really a hateful, toxic community, which is a good thing.
Not at all. I mean, if you don't have 3 friends and you bought the game and you want to play it, I'm definitely going to recommend, because we hear it a lot when people start playing and they're like, oh, hey, it's my first time playing. How do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? And there's going to be a lot of how do you do this? But, you you can play the tutorial. You don't have to ask any of those questions.
Yeah, if you just do the kind of equivalent of the first steps tutorial, which unfortunately a lot of players seem to skip.
But if you don't have 3 friends to play or 2 other friends to play with to make a full squad of 3, I'd say within 30 minutes of playing the game solo, you'll find more than enough people that have a 2 squad. If you're a decent person, you're not over the top, you don't yell and scream, you're not 8 years old.
Yeah, you'll quickly make friends.
Yes, 100%.
And besides the standard battle royale game, there's also like a solo bot mode. You can do the bot mode with teammates. In the solo mode, you can set difficulty of the bots. In the bot mode with teammates, you can't set difficulty, but that's all right.
No, and now they have
a private rooms as well.
Private servers.
Yeah, which I think is a great update. I think that's going to set the stage for like tournaments.
That's the start of tournaments.
Oh yeah, competitive leagues.
Yep. Because now they're giving you the ability to host the game, so you can make it pretty much however you want instead.
Yeah, and they're starting to add customizable features. I'd like to see cool things where they're like, okay, only knives. Okay, now you can set this game to only pistols, but it's the start.
There's no reason they won't.
Yeah, the custom rooms are still in beta, but that's another great thing I love about this game. The developers are constantly adding new updates.
Every week there seems to be every month, definitely.
Yeah,
there's
at
a
least
new update because they come out with new character skins.
Yeah, that's another thing. This is probably the first game that I see a new skin. I'm like a kid on Christmas.
Normally I wouldn't, but because of the amount of effort that the devs keep putting into the game, if they drop a skin and I got to spend down deep and spend $5 for it, but I know it's going to go to their cause of making the game even better than it is now, then yeah, it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, I mean,
their attention to detail on these skins, I would. Somebody could argue with me if they want about it, but they're phenomenal.
They get better and better too. Nothing's funnier than when I log on. You usually beat me on. I'm kind of a slacker. When I log on and I already see when the new skin, and I'm like, oh, and I know I gotta go and buy it right now. But like you said,
every month they'll drop, and it's not always skins. They give you different weapon skins too that you can get, and
and now each season,
sporting things that they like, little achievements that you can do every day, and
you have a standard level up, and now every season they have which is typical in the battle royales, a battle pass where you can unlock even more skins and stuff like that. So you don't have to buy every skin. It's not like you can't unlock skins as well.
No, and you know what I really like a lot and I respect a lot is that they don't offer anything for sale that gives you a player advantage.
Absolutely.
0.
It's all about skill.
Yep. So if you're just a bad player, you're just a bad player.
Yeah, it is what it is, though.
Another thing that I really enjoy too is that if you're new, people will recognize it, and they're actually, I guess, selfishly helpful to you. They'll help you in the lobby, tell you how to do things that you didn't know how to do. But I will explain to people, don't fall for the flap your arms and you'll fly faster or farther.
Sometimes people will mess with you a little bit.
Yeah, I fell for it.
There are some good tips and tricks, like though if you grab
first day.
Like, okay, so something we forgot to mention is you can climb everything as well. Yeah. There's nothing that's off limits
100%
to climb.
Interactive.
So besides just going hand over fist, a good tip that you'll eventually learn through helpful people in the game, you can kind of grab anything and instead of going hand over fist, you grab it and kind of throw yourself up and release, and it'll shoot yourself up farther.
Yeah, slingshot you up.
Yeah, so then what I usually do is instead of putting my gun away and then needing to go hand over fist, I'll keep my gun out and just one hand propel myself up and catch myself. So that way, if I start getting shot at, I'm still prepared to at least give a couple fire shots while I fly away and flee, you know?
Oh, I hear you.
So the game has a lot that I love. We went over the community. We went over the fact that the devs constantly updating.
Yeah, the community is definitely original. It's not like any community I've seen for that many random people that can pop in. And when I say random, I mean they legit. It's international, so it's not based on your demographic. We're constantly picking up a third who's from other countries. Australia a lot too, which is, I guess, on the cool factor, pretty cool. You're playing the same game with someone from Australia, and there's no lag on anybody's end.
Absolutely. No, it runs very smooth for the most part. I think I'm one of the few lucky people who have seemed to encounter almost no bugs.
Yeah, I've had bugs.
Yeah, the chronic. We used to call it the Jesus pose. I seem to see it.
Pose.
I seem to see it called online a lot. The T pose.
It's like everything I look at. The character's arms are stretched way out, and they've got a gun in their hand, and the whole game will be like that. And I really thought it was just me. I thought it was maybe possibly the Oculus, but then you sent me the photo of somebody else having the same problem.
Yeah, I've seen some Reddit posts about it. Problem. Yeah, it seems to be a chronic glitch. Like I said, I'm lucky about it.
Yeah, I've had tracking glitches, which I've heard people have had issues with
like guns not doing damage and stuff like that,
or like the hand tracking with the
gun
remote,
itself.
It keeps moving even though your hand's not moving. I've heard that, but again, there's updates.
Usually fixing this stuff.
Yeah, constant bug fixing.
Yeah, your T-pose hasn't gotten fixed though.
No, I think the T-pose is just so small to people because many people. I thought I was the only one, and that's since we've had the game.
Yeah, it wasn't until an online community like Reddit where you were able to isolate posts.
No, and I deleted the game and reinstalled it and did everything else that I could think to do, but until more people. So if it happens to you, folks, just restart your game and you're fine.
Yeah, that's usually better than trying to just go into a new game right away. You'll keep having the glitch until you... Hey, everyone, I apologize about that. I'll be honest, we kind of had to do a quick cut. I just kind of want everyone to know we're not professionals. You know, we have full-time jobs. This is something we just kind of started as a hobby. My dog went crazy. Somebody came home, so I kind of had to pause for a second. I apologize for that. But I believe we left off. We were talking about getting the T-pose and how to fix it. Yeah, don't try to just go into a new game.
Yeah, no, just restart. I usually just restart the Oculus.
Yeah, that's the best
Power
fix
it down
then.
and restart it. It's an unfortunate glitch, though. I won't lie, because it gives
you nothing but negatives. There's no real benefit to it.
Correct.
But
shoot at people that may or may not actually be standing where I think they're standing because their arms are all stretched out, and maybe their body's where they're handed. I don't know.
Another negative of it that I've kind of encountered a lot. I referenced it before. I don't know how they would even enforce this, but the amount of kids that we've gotten paired with.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense from the...
Because I know you have to be 13 to have a Facebook account. I know it's parents making their kids a Facebook.
8-year-olds. 8, 9, and 10 seems to be pop.
Which I don't mind. It's not always a bad experience. Like, sometimes the kids are good. I don't mind if it's a...
Yeah, sometimes they're good, but most times they're not. And that's just the reality of it, that you're going to be halfway through the game. And
I think it comes down to if the kid's being supervised, you know? That's a different conversation. I've heard some kids just nonstop going, hello... Hey. Screaming high-pitched. So I don't know how they would fix that. I wish that would get fixed.
There's no way to fix that.
Yeah. Another thing that...
just online gaming.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, it seems like the amount of kids is growing. It started that there was almost no kids. Now it seems to get more, but I think that's part of the Oculus platform.
I think also with what's been going on in the world and the amount of people who, picked up an Oculus, a long time ago or a year ago, and they bought these games and their kids have been homeschooled for the past year. So I get it.
Yeah, it could just be about the times right now.
I mean, you're 8
maybe
years
that'll
old,
change
you got an
as
Oculus on, and you got a list of apps. You click on it, right?
Yeah, I get it.
It's got a cool picture of a guy flying through the sky with cool sunglasses on. If I were 8 years old, I'd probably click on the app.
So I want to see how you feel about my next little thing that kind of bothers me. I wish that they would keep war mode. So war mode's a 9 versus 9. It's honestly, in my opinion, one of the best ways to meet new players. If you're a solo player, like that thing was the best. 9 versus 9 was a great concept with the gameplay of Population 1. And it's kind of like a tease what they do. They'll release it for a month. They'll take it away. They'll bring it back. It's almost like the McRib,
Yeah, I haven't figured out why they drop it and then
change the name. They add like Super Duper Advanced. I don't even know what the last one was.
They drop it again and then they pull it back after a little time. No, I agree with you. It should. I don't think I don't check the
I understand
the
that
squad menu to see if that's an option.
Yeah, after every update.
Yep.
I understand that they want to update the game mode and constantly work on it, but you can have it live and do that. Just like they update squads. There's no reason that you can't keep war live and just update it. You know.
Yeah, 9 versus 9 is pretty cool. I mean, I guess in theory you could set up your own 9 versus 9, but then you'd have to have, 17 people that that are all willing to go. It becomes a hassle where they can easily randomize the 9-9.
Yeah, so I think those are kind of my main complaints. Do you have any others?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear them.
No, I don't have a lot, but they've got a really great list of guns you can get, all pretty much giving you relatively a fair advantage. And this is weird because I used to play Counter-Strike a lot, and a good sniper is worth its weight in gold. But it just seems more and more people are just taking advantage of these sniping guns, and it's all you hear through the map is just 2 different sniper guns going off constantly. Pow, 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 pow. And I think a while ago it wasn't that big of a deal, but now it's almost become just a nuisance. If you get a good team of 3 who knows how to use those sniper rifles and you're a new player, you're doomed. I mean, they literally can, the luck of the draw, I mean, you drop down, fly down, whatever, and there's a sniper rifle there, and you get it, load it, and start shooting into the sky as people are dropping out of their pods. You can, and people will get the kill. And I just think it's discouraging for a new player.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing I do wish they would add as well is skill level player matching. Right now, you can get hit with, I don't know, somebody who's been playing since day one. They're a professional gamer. They're top 10 in the leaderboard in your first week of playing. It can be.
Yeah, you just bought the game today. You go home and you're going to get destroyed by the best ranked person in the country.
Yeah, that's a little disheartening. At this point, I'm pretty used to. I'll get.
That's why I think they did away with showing you the number of kills and stats of the person when they killed you. Now they just show you the card of the person. You get a little animated card, not animated, but a little cartoon card that when you kill someone and the game's over, it shows you who killed you.
Yeah, and there was a brief period of about 1 month where they would show you the total amount of damage that they've done in the game, the amount of kills that they've done, and the amount of wins.
Damage. Remember, there were people with literally millions. Yeah, millions of damage.
Yeah, so I didn't really seem to mind. We've already been playing for months. Like I said, we had our 7% win rate, which I was pretty happy with.
Now it's up to almost 12 now.
Yeah, look at that, getting better and better. But I can imagine
weekly. Still.
Yeah, I mean that's another great thing about the game is that it's great for hobbyists. You don't need to be a professional gamer.
Yeah, and once you can friend people in the game real easy. If you squad with them, they give you an option after the game's over to add them as a friend. If they accept it, then you know how that works.
Yeah,
but in the game you can give each other knuckle love. If you hold your knuckle love together and you'll see the little bar as soon as your knuckles touch, you can make friends.
Yeah, that's how you add someone to your friends list.
Yeah, but this crazy guy going around slugfesting everyone in lobbies and.
Well, hey, this actually ended up benefiting me. So when I first got the game back, I don't know, October, November, whenever it came out, I like to have a good time. So while we're in the lobby, I would just run around and start boxing people. I was playing Thrill to Fight, another game on the Oculus.
Good audience sometimes, though.
Yeah,
10 people looking around watching the fight.
People would find it hilarious. So I like to do it, but sometimes we wouldn't even need to touch fists. Just me punching them would add them as a friend. So then I ended up with a friends list of 200 people so fast. But then they brought out the social coins where you can send somebody a form of currency to buy different things.
Yeah.
So now I get
again, nothing that's ever going to change your advantage over the game. Just, it might be a new calling card or a new nickname that you carry with your character.
Yeah, so there's for me there's not much else that's really grinds my gears.
No, I've got an issue with the glitch that I apparently and a handful of others do get. Occasionally I call it update day, the day I see where it updated. I've learned after I've updated the game, I launch the game, and then I quit the game, and then I restart my Oculus, and then relaunch the game, just so I can make sure that it's clear, because I seem to run into more problems under those circumstances if I don't do that. If I let it update and then just play the game, I seem to get that T pose or the Jesus pose.
Yeah. So we kind of decided to revamp our our review system after some feedback. I instantly went with the 5-star grading system because that's what the Oculus Store does. It seemed to kind of fit.
Yeah, it seemed to make sense.
But I can understand that, after so many games, we can kind of run into a wall with 5 stars.
Yeah, it doesn't give you a lot of gray areas.
No, you'll get a lot of 3s and 4s, and I don't know. It's just points and stuff.
It's misleading.
3 point.
It can be misleading. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, 10 stars gives us much more variety in the long run. So I think for my final score for Population 1, I would give it a 7 out of 10. The reason being, again, it's one of my most played games. As time's gone on, I've slowly played it. I'll admit a little bit less. There's just a lot more that I could see them adding that would make it more replayable. Some of these bugs really do cripple players. Ranked matchmaking, like I said, that's really disheartening for a new player. So 7's my score. What about you, Stratus?
I got to go a little higher than. I mean, it's not a perfect game, and I think everybody knows it that plays it. Your 7's pretty close. I was thinking like a 7 to 7.3, and that's only because there is known glitches that I don't see a lot of work being done on, and I'm playing proof of that. Although, knock on wood, I haven't had it in more than 2 weeks, I think. I think the squeaker issue adds a little to the... Yeah, I mean,
sometimes
let's be honest, if it's just you playing and you don't have... you're not around and I'm playing by myself, I'm going to get teamed up with 2 people. There's nothing more frustrating than just want to play and then, it's 2 kids. It's even worse if they know each other.
Yeah.
So that's and I can't blame them for that. It's just the way it is. I get that. It can be unfortunate at times.
Yeah, there's been some times that we'll do a couple games, and usually, like I said, we get a good third, but luck of the draw, random. Sometimes you win the lottery, sometimes you lose it.
Yeah,
we get a little.
I like the game a lot,
but
I love the skins. I do love the updates. They seem to be taking advantage of as much juice as the Oculus can pump out.
Yeah, I definitely like Season 2 more than Season 1. I thought I was going to love the katanas. During Season 1, they introduced katanas. Season 2, luckily, in my opinion, they got rid of it. And then also Season 2, they added these 2-handed shotguns. That's the funnest thing to reload. So you blast people nonstop with 2 one-handed little double barrel or single barrel shot. I don't even know.
Yeah, you
bang,
just
bang, bang, bang,
climb.
bang. And then to reload it, you shoot it back, like flick it back, and it instantly reloads. I've gotten killed by it so many times. I keep trying to get kills. I'm not good with the shotguns, but it's fun. And then they also added this harmonica, which is probably my single favorite update that they've added.
It's hysterical.
Oh my god, you play this harmonica and it heals the shield of all of your teammates around you.
My problem with the harmonica is I'll just play it because I think it's funny, and then I do the little dance to the cowboy themed harmonica music, and don't really care that I'm probably going to get shot for doing it, but because it's making sounds, people can hear this noise.
Yeah, the music it makes is great. It's very Western themed, which fits the update. They added the frontier part of the map, which is like a classic. What do they call them? Canteens, like the old school.
No, they got the saloon.
The saloon. There we go.
The saloon, double wooden door saloon with the piano in it.
You walk in and all of a sudden you're in an old school Western. It's great. There's a piano in there. You press it. It actually makes the music. You love to do that all the time.
Piano sounds. So again, I love running in there and hearing that piano, and then I go over and act like I'm playing it. Again, something I wouldn't recommend if you don't want to get shot, but it's just sometimes it's just fun to mess around and have a good time.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. Like I said, 7. That's my ending score. Just because
I'll stick with the 7.3. It's definitely it. You know what though? But I'd love to look at it again a year from now, because I knew where it was and where it's been. I don't know where it's going.
Oh, the game from launch to where it is now is a completely different game.
So if we want to revisit this one,
Season 3, Season 4, as it continues to advance,
from now and revisit what our feelings really are in the game, because they're definitely going a certain direction. We just don't know which way.
Yeah, you know what is also, before we close up, one more thing I wish that they would add. More player versus everything things. Like, I love offline co-op. That's a personal preference thing. Right now, the only offline co-op is us versus the bots, which gets a little repetitive. It's great to warm up and practice.
A kill everything.
Yeah, like not a story mode, but maybe some sort of mission. I don't know.
No, you know what I want to know?
What?
what's the story behind all the characters?
That's another thing. I think that they could monetize. This would be
These
great for the
characters
developers. They could
they don't
monetize the
change.
lore.
They're the same characters. They'll introduce new ones, but if you own the game, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't own the game, as soon as you do, you will know what I'm talking about. But they'll take the same group characters and put them in different clothes. So what's the backstory behind these characters?
And
this game has been evolving, and new characters are popping up.
And there's clearly two different affiliations. Like some, I think they're called Seekers, right? That's the name of the. Is the Seekers the name of the Defenders, or is that the name of that company that's owning everything, like the tower?
I honestly can't remember.
Me neither. But like clearly, there's a lot of.
Would you watch a show if there was like an animated?
I don't know if I would rather
Comic
watch a
style?
show or read a comic book.
Comic book style.
I think comic book style would be a cool
Because something
way.
happened to make. I mean, everybody's fighting each other
Yeah, the tower
to the death.
The tower used to be closed. It opened up. Didn't an area get blown up?
Yeah.
Now we're in the frontier. Who is Vlad? Vlad's this Dracula skin that you could buy.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions, but only sadly the developers have the answers.
Yeah, and again, I think everybody wins. For me, it would be entertaining as a fan. Makes the developers a little even more money.
I think you should grab one of the developers and try to get them on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit off
You
air.
could Skype them in.
Yeah. So
'Cause
7.
There is some questions I'm curious about with the characters. I think they were very specific with them and their roles and their functions. I mean, if you look at their wardrobes, and then the ones that they throw in, like the peace and war, that was another interesting character skin.
Yeah, there's something going
and then
on.
The corporate lady who blatantly works for the tower people.
I have a feeling that there's a lot of good conversations in the office of BigBox, which is the developers of the game. I feel like there's a lot of good.
How much do you love the theme song though when it starts up?
That's brand new, right? That only came up in season 2. I don't remember that before.
The little country bit to go with the opening, but just in general, that sound that it makes, or the sound like that boom when the wall's going to start moving. Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, no, great graphics, great gameplay, great replayability. Overall, great game. 7's my score. That's where we'll end it.
I'd like to relook at it.
Yep. 1 year from now, we'll talk.
Yep. A year from now, out of fairness, because the game is great, but they just got to fix a couple of things.
Yep. All right. So thank you guys for listening again. Sorry about a couple of those edits there, or not edits, cuts. Again, we're not professionals. Just people working full-time jobs, doing a hobby, playing a lot of Oculus since we bought it. Figured might as well make a little podcast about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for episode 3 next week.
See you next week.
All right, have a great day.